Service.
All right, welcome
Yes,
back.
yes.
It's still Rapid Dawn. Hope you had a great time on the sports and Eastern Circle. We did promise you a conversation, and we are back to deliver on our promise. And this morning, we're talking about activities of NIMSI. And when you mention NIMSI, the first thing that comes to your mind is your NIN.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you know your NIN is a key identifier used for various transactions and services in the country. It has become so important, and of course, including your national ID, opening your bank account, acquiring a passport. It plays a vital role. And so, just to let you know that access to vital government services is increasingly tied to your NIN, and of course streamlining digital identity use across agencies. And so even for your health, social welfare, citizens now rely on the NIN. And so this morning we're going to be having a conversation surrounding our NIN. We have a lot of burning questions. Unfortunately, we can't even open our lines for you to be able to ask your own question, but I know that if we do that, a lot of people want to ask questions because people are angry about certain things when it comes to the NIN. Even me personally, I have a serious question I want to ask regarding to the NIN. I do have a guest here with me this morning, the person of Mr. Akwiti Akuti. Yes, sounds like a Ghanaian name, right? Oh, yes, Mr. Akwiti. He's the Assistant Director Operations. It's so great to have you this morning, sir.
It's my pleasure. The pleasure being in the studio. Rapid TV.
Yes.
I'm delighted. Thank you for having me.
All right. So, Martha, you want to start?
Yes, thank you so much for joining us again in the studio. Now, like Cynthia said, lots of questions that people want to ask as regards the NIMC and about your services. I see that there's been a review of your products and the cost for your services. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, definitely. Recently, in the wisdom of the management and the DG CEO, Engineer Dr. Abisoye Kokal Duseta, I was amazed whenever I call that name because it resonates for a go-getter, a trailblazer, a DG that knows her onions. We decided over and above the fact that we've already, right from the word go, operated basically free of charge for most of our services, if I might put it that way, because NIN is free and it's still free, even with the recent adjustment of prices that we've put across, like you rightly mentioned. Yeah, those prices cut across the after fresh enrollment services that we offer
Okay.
as a commission. Like if you register, you come register and it is free.
Okay.
If you have, for whatever reason, have to adjust your date of birth, adjust your name, you're a single lady, you get married, you want to adjust your name, you want to adjust your place of abode, residence,
Yeah.
address, phone number, for somebody must have changed their phone number. Those services are what we're talking about. Okay, so recently, like you rightly said, our services for DOB, date of birth modification, has been upped from what it used to be about 16,000 thereabout to going to about 28,750 to be exact right now.
28,574 naira.
Yeah.
28,750.
574 naira.
Okay,
Yes.
plus or minus.
Okay, plus or minus.
Plus or one or two commissions will come into play and it will, you understand, but okay, flat rate 28,000 if you want to put it that way.
Okay.
And also the services for the other fields.
Okay.
Now, the DOB, which is the date of birth, is a bit peculiar because it has to do with your age, my age.
Changes.
But the other fields, name, address, phone number, email address, and what have you, has been upped from what it used to be, 500, to now 2,000
Okay.
thereabout. Then also for your reprint, your issuance of your NIN slip. When you enroll from the first time, the fresh enrollment is free. You get your NIN slip issued free, as the case may be. You also get your ID card, e-ID card issued free, as the case may be. But for now, the issuance of your NIN slip will now cost 600 naira.
Okay.
Okay, probably you got your NIN slip got missing and you want to go and reprint another one. Okay, because it is vital. It's 600 naira. So
All right.
those are
Yes,
the
about that.
charges.
You spoke about the NIM slip, and one thing I saw about your website was NIMC clearly warning people about indiscriminate printing of the NIMC card? Because I remember, you know, ever since you have the help service where you can just get that card, like, you know, people just go on to print those cards, because I mean it is assumed to be like an easier way to get around, you know, with the owning a passport.
Yeah.
Did I call it a passport? With owning a card, because it takes like a very long time before you actually get the card. Can you talk to us about that?
Well, the name slip, like I rightly said, is the a token that will be issued to you immediately after you get enrolled.
Okay.
Okay, that is their name slip. It has their tracking ID, it has their name on it.
Okay.
But now, after some time, the commission in its wisdom decided to have what we call the mobile web services, where you could log on and get your digital name slip printed out.
Okay.
Mark my word, digital name slip is not your EID card. That's where we put up that what will I call it now? Press statement saying that, oh, people shouldn't go and be bastardizing the printing of cards. But you can willingly go and print your digital name slip via that portal, the mobile web services, which is still operative till today, over a particular fee that is there. You will see it is about 1, 2, and you get it printed out. But with this opt-in services, I'm sure the portal will be adjusted to accommodate all the various services that have been up. So printing of the name slip, you want to reprint it via our center. You go, you apply, not you apply, you go, you present yourself and you're verified to be sure that you are the person that is coming to print your name slip, and it will be printed 500 now 600 naira. But you want to do it via the mobile web services, you can print out what we call a digital name slip, which is as good as can be. And like you said, it's almost like a mini EID card, because the texture, the format, the layout gives you that. You even have a barcode that is readable, that you can verify, you know, via any system or gadget that you have.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's move on to the part where may not be so palatable, which is the aspect of, I mean, anything that has to do with money, Nigerians are not always excited. Okay, he wants to show us the card. Is that a card?
Yeah, I want to show you how the digital name slip looks like.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know whether your camera can zoom
yeah,
in,
just put it up.
this is how what your digital name slip looks like.
Okay.
You know, and it is authentic, it is a legal tender, and you can use it for any service.
Okay.
Any service at all. Let me see this.
And you can see at the corner it has the barcode.
Okay.
You understand? And this you can
Yes,
get
I can
via the mobile web service,
Okay.
you know, that the commission offers. And there's an app for it, you can download it. So presently we've launched a new, well, I said, all-encompassing app,
Okay.
the NIN OT.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so let's now move on to that part where Nigerians are not so excited about, which is the aspect of the increase of this amount. This is like a 75% increase, and from what it used to be to now 28,000 plus. What was the rationale behind this increase, or is it because things are on the rise in the country? So I think like, let's come together and see how we can also increase our own services. Was that what it was? Because I mean, we'll be thinking that agencies should be thinking of, commissions should be thinking of how to alleviate the stress of people, because this is very important.
Yeah, basically, like I said when I started answering your question, the commission has been running on free of charge services, if I might put it that way, because the services that we offer side by side with some of our sister agencies are neither here nor there. You understand, in cost of, in when you put it across the cost of it. And that was also put into consideration, coming to answer your question. And also the depth of services that the commission is offering presently, the increase in technology. There has to be money to run this technology. There has to be finance funds coming to run this technology. Okay? That necessitated the wisdom of upping the game, and also to be at par with what is obtainable presently. Even in answering your question and also asking it, you also simply spelled it out that the cost of living has increased. The cost of providing these services has increased. And we will be lying to ourselves that we want to probably be on the page of revenue generation, like the federal government will expect us to, and also keep up with the what would premium services that we offer, which is across board legit for every citizen. Let me give you an example. If you go to the NIS, that is the Immigration Services, and you want to do a simple correction of letter I on your name, which is a lot. People think, it's not just. Letter I means a lot in your immigration passport services. And upwards of more than what we are charging presently will be asked of you. I don't want to begin to mention services. I'm not speaking for them. But it is justifiable across board that this increase in services come into play to be able to offer the optimum premium service that NIMSI is known for at this day and age that we are living in. Yes, it's not palatable for our dear citizens. But like I rightly say, we've offered free services, and we are still offering that free service because the first enrollment is still free. Anywhere in the country.
Okay, so you said NIMSI is known for premium services, and of course it has to be updated due to what the NIN stands for us. It's very important. Which now brings me to ask what is in the mind of a lot of people. This NIN, is it even really working? After all the stress we go through to get it, all the linking this, linking that, do this, do that, is it really working? And of course, let's now look at the inclusive governance aspect. Is the government even really using it as they said they are going to use it, this NIN?
Yes.
Okay.
It is putting it plainly as you have asked it. NIN, National Identification Number, which is an assured identity for every Nigerian, is working. Working to the extent that now the security operative use it daily for their security espionages.
So why haven't they gotten the criminals, terrorists?
They are getting it. We've not gotten all the criminals, all of them in jail completely. The nation has not done that. But from progress reports that I am aware of, there is increase in the capacity of that than before when the NIN was not in place.
Okay, but one would think that after these fees are being increased, we do understand that the cost of producing these cards and the cost of running the organization, needed to be factored in, and hence the increment in, or the introduction of fees in printing your cards and what have you. Now, what do you think can be done to speed up the process? Because the truth is, it's okay to say we are going to catch these criminals because we have this data available that assists us to catch the criminals. Now, the issue is not getting the criminals, it's how fast you are able to get to the criminals before more damage is done. Is there anything that has been done to work on this?
Yes, the commission has, we've given verification license to the security operatives that function and work in sync with us. In short, as a stakeholder, I will call them, most of the security operatives are in collaboration with the NIMSI, know. So the services that we provide for a fee to those security operatives, they have it free of charge because they need to use it to work. Now, there are systems, softwares that are deployed to these security operatives that they use in the course of their service.
Okay.
You understand? And these things take time to do. You understand? No matter how, what you might call it now, how fast you want to deploy a particular system to catch a criminal, there are processes, there are ways and means. Okay. Let me tell you, give you a typical example. A typical example would be an example of when the police will send to us, send us a simple signal to say, so data needs to be verified to assure them if the person is legit or not. On a click of equipment, inputting the name of, in quote, this particular person, the data is displayed and the person's location in line with what the security operatives already have in tracking. These people are narrowed down. And like I said before, a lot of progress have been made. We're not there 100%, both from our own side and the side of the security operatives, the various agencies, okay? But We are getting there. And that is the beauty of the harmonization process that the NIMC has with agencies across board.
Okay.
Okay?
Before we talk about the beauty, let's pause on the beauty for a second, because while you were speaking, I thought about a whole lot of things. Now, these agencies are collaborating with NIMC, and they are, in your words, they are achieving results. But for people who have experienced bank fraud, which of course is one of the reasons why things like NIN was introduced, so it serves as a unique identifier for citizens, legal residents, is streamlining transaction and preventing fraud. But we still have fraud happening every single day, and when that happens, the banks cannot help you, and it now leaves the question, okay, why can't you identify this fraudulent transaction? Why can't you do this? You have NIN, you have the NIMC. Is it that the banks don't collaborate with NIMC? Because you mentioned in your speech, you mentioned the security agencies, but you didn't mention the banks. So is that they don't have collaborations with you? Is that why they cannot solve some of these problems? They cannot identify all of these things? And also, I understand that whatever information that is contained in that database was not retrieved by operators of NIMC. It was the individuals who imputed this information. So couldn't it be possible that a person can impute what they want you to have, which may likely not be their true information?
You see, let me take it from the last point you just made. An applicant imputing wrong information. Now, the beauty of harmonization, which I had mentioned a little while ago, solves that. There are a whole lot of Nigerians have been issued that had imputed wrong data across board. Driver's license.
Different.
Even the immigration passport.
Different.
Pension. Now, the harmonization, what it does, and that is why you are seeing that there's a surge of DOB modification, DOB corrections, name corrections here and there. The harmonization, by virtue of what NIMC has deployed, is bringing everybody back on track. You have deployed wrong information that is supposed to be useful in future. We're bringing everybody back on track. And like, let me rightly point out, the banks are also major stakeholders with the commission, with NIMC. We're working in sync with them. The harmonization process, the first harmonization that was done by the commission was that of moving your BVNs to the database and in sync. And all the people that their BVN were not in sync had to now come to present themselves, and we do what we call a BVN modification. Modification in big English, BVN correction. Okay, as it is. And it is, the aim is to have everybody in sync. So that going forward, if there's a bank fraud, it is at the touch of a button, and the person will be tracked. Progresses have been made. I keep on repeating that. Whether you want to like it, believe it or not, progresses have been made. We're not there 100%, but we will get there. We're on the road track through to that Eldorado, if I might put it that way.
Okay. Let's talk about any new service that we should know about. Maybe you could tell us first of all, because I know that you guys are having something today. Well, don't look at me like that.
Up to date.
Yes. So, I mean, the NIMC is having something today. So, what is this news? Let us get it here first. I mean, come on, give us that privilege.
No, come on, no problem. It is not. We are not hiding it. It's not. It's not confidential. She looks like she likes confidential things.
Oh.
One of the new services we have deployed is the self-service. Whereby you could sit in the comfort of your home and you can modify your data. Instead of, that came into being so that we run away from the fact that applicants are trudging our centers and they are stampede, and we have to do multiple crowd control, deployments to be able to handle citizens. And of course, Nigerians being what they are, they will always come. Probably at the last minute, probably one thing or the other will lead them to come. You say, oh, okay, if you don't come, will not pay you your salary for the next 2 months. So people will come. So that's one of the services that we've deployed recently, the self-service. Okay, you can simply go to self-service modification at nimc.gov.ng, and you will avail yourself of that, even right from your Android phone. But also to help Nigerians, there are special devices that has been deployed to all our center. I'm in the operations, and I know that, so I can speak comfortably about that. That also assist the aged mother that cannot pretty well operate an Android, or that illiterate that pretty well might not have the technical savvy to do this, to be able to do that self-service. That takes the person away from the crowd. Another simple service that we are deployed recently, which is, like I said, is like, how would I call it? I'm looking for a very good name. A better part of the mobile web services. We call it the NIM authentication services. NIM auth for short, which has given Nigerians ownership to their data. You can afford to, using that NIM auth, verify your data. You can download it via the Play Store and all that. It is there, it's working. You put in your NIN. So every Nigerian that has a NIN, you want to verify your NIN every other day. You download that NIN auth, and it is good to go. It is also part of where a link that government can deploy services to the populace without really going through the rigors of finding out who is who is not, so to say, which is also part of the services that the next token we have deployed, which is the biometric-based e-card. For some time ago, the issuance of NIMC card was suspended because there was a little bit of bottleneck concerning it, and it was suspended. But now, very soon, before this second quarter runs out, if I'm bold enough to say that, you will see new NIMC e-card being deployed. That will solve the identification issue. It will solve government to persons issue. It will serve as a financial wallet for people that want to, be eligible for one government service or the other. They want to give you, you have a farm in Okokomaiko and you want to be identified for that service that government is willingly giving every now and then. That okays you for it. And it's all embedded in that, will I call it a three-layered card in one. You understand? And so those are the three major services that are on board right now. Okay. If you stay with us, you stay tuned to this channel, you'll see more.
Absolutely.
Sounds juicy already.
Absolutely.
So as we get set to wrap up, I know you need to run. So let's talk about the part that would interest lots of people, which is the last part of the conversation, which is, let's say, for example, something happens with my account. Somebody probably hacks into my account, or make some transactions through my app or something, and I'm going to the bank and the bank is not responding. Is there any opportunity in NIMC to say, okay, that where individuals can come meet you guys and say, okay, I'm having these issues, the bank are not responding, they're not following it up, I need to track who just made a transaction with me, or maybe you received an alert that says, okay, so amount was withdrawn from you, you saw the location. Is there any opportunity for individuals to come meet the commission to say, okay, this, can you help me, since the bank is not forthcoming? Because most times the bank don't listen to you when you complain about these things.
They should listen. Let me take your question from there. They should listen. And what we advise people that have those peculiarity is to willingly, if they want to run by NIMC, is to say, oh, so bank is not listening to us. So that we can now, how will I put it now, handshake with that bank to say, this is a problem that you need to pay attention. Now, it is not NIMC's mandate to do that detective work, so to say. Our mandate is to provide platforms where the citizens can authenticate, verify, and in the harmonization process, like I've mentioned, these stakeholders are in sync with us. So they should, that's why I started answering your question by saying they should listen. But if it's not happening, I don't want, maybe when I have a rent check, do a rent check with my DGC, or then we can begin to know which way to navigate. But to tell you the truth, the Department of ITIDD in the Commission is doing a lot to be able to solve these very peculiar situations. We will get there.
We pray that we get there
and we
fast.
are working. This thing is indigenous. We are bringing out software services that are going to be, you know, nationwide friendly, and also speaking to what you talked about, so that in future, if somebody has that kind of a situation, you don't have to now worry about the bank. You can simply come. But and it also leans on data privacy. We cannot infringe on somebody else's data privacy, even if that person is a criminal.
No, even if you don't tell the person who came, you can say, okay, we're handling it.
For investigative purposes.
You just check the information because you have it there, and then pass it to the bank and say, oh, one email, this will be able to find out, okay, do your job from there. And you don't have to tell the customer.
We have a platform. If you get onto the service, we have a unit called Servicom in the NIMC that are deliberately handling most of those things. If you log on to their proper or call the numbers, probably after this little deliberation, I will hand you over those numbers and the email address that you can call. When you make those complaints via that portal or via that avenue, then it is handled, and we will not be arrested tomorrow for data privacy infringement. Exactly. Because there's a lot on data privacy infringement that is going on, and we must be compliant. And my DGCEO engineer, Dr. Abisoye Koka-Dusete, is all for data privacy and the commission running as a team.
It's how precise you are about
the name,
mentioning the name all the time.
Engineer Dr. Abisoye Koka.
Odusa. We'll remember the name.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Akwiti, for making some clarifications. There are some numbers you owe us, and of course the website you were supposed to, the self-service website.
Yeah.
So you could just run through them as we wrap up.
Okay. The number, the self-service modification platform that you need to know is the self-service modification.nimc.gov.ng. Okay. There's also a pre-enroll portal that you can also go to do your pre-enrollment, which is called, which we have pegged at penroll, spelled penrol.nimc.gov.ng. Okay. Now the Servicom numbers, I don't really have it, but I will give it to you.
Okay, so I'm guessing that this is where NIMC would likely want to have a great partnership, business relationship with Rapid, so that we can be, mentioning all of these things, because Nigerians need to be informed and aware.
And I'm glad, if you may, I'm glad that Rapid TV is taking up this initiative. It is. It's a national project.
I will bring my proposal.
And the Nigerians that we all are must key in. We cannot carry the flag alone. With this exposure right now, and more that I hope will come.
Yes, we look forward to that.
Let me tell you, one of your sister stations this morning, I'm not going to mention it so I don't advertise unnecessarily over your air, was running the advert for this new NIN-OT service that is fresh. So, Rapid TV, why not you run those kind of ads?
We'll talk about that.
Why not? We could do that.
I will not put you on the spot.
Absolutely not.
It gives an opportunity to also have you on board. So when we have NIMC as one of our partners, you are definitely sure that everything that has to do with NIMC, your NIN, the latest updates, the numbers to call when you have a problem. In fact, once you have a problem with your NIN, just call Rapid. We would call NIMC. Don't you want such a relationship?
That's such a huge promise to make.
Let's do high five in our future relationship. Exactly. Thank you so much, Mr. Akwiti, for bringing clarity and, of course, great tidings of joy to our audience this beautiful morning. Good work NIMC is doing, and, of course, we do hope that everything that is promised on the NIN, Nigerians will be able to enjoy, especially in the area of security, fraudulent activities on their bank details, customers' information. I just hope that all of that will be put to rest, and people would have, because now Nigerians are still apprehensive about, is this going to be, is this really genuine, is it going to work, is it really working? But now he has said, okay, yes, it's really, really working, and a lot of things are being achieved courtesy of the NIN and the like. So thank you so much for that. I think, Mata, we've had a great conversation this morning.
Absolutely. You know, clarity is super important, and this is one thing that Nigerians, you know, get to complain about all the time: the security of their data, accessibility to these platforms. And I feel like these questions that have been answered right here will be the birth of a better relationship between Rapid TV and NIMC. Thank you so much for joining us again, Mr. Akriti.
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 Akriti or Akriti. You must pronounce it very well.
Okay.
Akriti
Akriti
or
Akriti.
Akriti.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll go on a very short break. When we come back, there are some things that you did not know. We'll tell you about that.